Hello everybody, and welcome back to Immediate Meteorology. In this video, we will be talking about a large severe weather event happening for both today and tomorrow as uploading this video. Let's get straight in. This is a very serious situation here. I wasn't able to upload last weekend or anytime this week as I was busy with school. But I decided to try and take today because this is very urgent. This is something we have not seen in a while. I'm not going to say it's gonna be like anything like 2011 and April 27th and stuff like that. But it could definitely still have the potential to be some very, very, very bad event. So here we jump straight in. Here's the day one categorical outlook, which is today. You can see here we have a large region for severe weather, and we actually have the highest chance for severe weather, the high region in the pink right there. The highest you can ever get in severe weather chances, mainly for central Mississippi and central western Alabama, stretching into parts of northeastern Louisiana and southeastern Arkansas. But don't let that fool you. Even the moderate risk could have even just the same chance as the high risk in terms of tornadoes and really anything at this point. That's how bad it really is. And then we have the enhanced risk surrounding that, and then a bit stretching up into southern Missouri. And then we have the slight region surrounding that, moderate, and then just some general thunderstorms. Now we can head on through. Here's the tornado chance. Actually, recently, as the recording of this video, they upgraded it to a 45% chance, which we have not seen in about 2 years. We saw one in 2019, and then ones before that I think was 2016 and 2011. So it's been a long time, and it's very rare to see a 45% chance pop up. It's very small, thankfully. It's not a big, widespread region, but still, it is very serious that we have that. It's for mainly central western Alabama and central eastern Mississippi, crossing the border there. So anybody who lives in really just any of these regions in general, please be ready to take your safe shelter when needed, just in case. You never know what could happen. We even have the hatched region right here, which is significant, meaning that there's a very significant chance of that chance, I guess you could say, of it happening. So when you're looking at percentages like this, let's say you're taking the 45% chance. If you live in that region, it's basically saying you have a 45% chance of a tornado spawning within 25 miles of where you are located. Anywhere out of that, it's the same goes for 30, 15, 10, 5, 2, etc. So let's say you're in the 30%, once again, you have a 30% chance of a tornado coming or spawning within a 25-mile radius. And significant just makes that risk even worse. And then it's a very widespread region, stretching from a bit of Arkansas, bit of Tennessee around Memphis area, and then into a lot of Alabama, most of Mississippi, and about half, I'd say, of Louisiana. So this is an event. This risk is even higher than last year when we had Easter outbreak, which is not something you want to see. And last year was an El Nino. This year is a La Nina, which really influences this. Here is the hail outlook. We have up to a 30% chance of hail, especially in that significant region. A bit there for southern Missouri, but the main risk is for same areas as tornado and overall. We're looking at most of Mississippi, a lot of Alabama, most of Louisiana, and a bit of Arkansas right there. We do have the significant patched region as well. Here is our wind outlook. 45% chance is the highest we have here. Once again, for central Mississippi, central western Alabama, and a bit of northeastern Louisiana. We also have the significant region put in place there, so that definitely, like I said, influences all of these risks. Now here we're heading to tomorrow's outlook. This is when it starts to move towards the east coast, and I'm actually in that moderate region, so this is a very serious thing to talk about. Um, it's also like Easter outbreak, how the moderate risk and partially high risk was in Dixie Alley, then eventually moved on to impact the East Coast, just like here. However, this one is way more widespread. We have the moderate region stretching from the North Carolina-Virginia border all the way into central Georgia. That is a large area of the moderate region, probably about the same size, if not bigger, than the region that we're seeing today. And then we have the enhanced risk surrounding that going into central Virginia around Richmond, and then a lot of Georgia being covered in that, and the remaining of South Carolina that is not in a severe risk is covered by enhanced, and then a bit of North Carolina coast, Outer Banks, and then towards the mountain region. Next, we'll go to the tornado risk. Not as high, 2 categories lower than what we have today. So there's still a chance for tornadoes. Maybe not as strong, though, but I still think there is about the same chance for tornadoes. We also have a significant patched region here, just like today's, so that definitely influences the chances for tornadoes. 15% chance within 25-mile radius, located right there. And then in the yellow, 10%, sort of brownish color, 5%, and green color, 2%. So this is still very serious. Don't think this as a downgrade from Dixie Alley, because it's the same system, same storm, so who knows what could happen. A lot of tornadoes and tornadic storms are very unpredictable. Here we have our hail outlook. It's also up to a 30% chance, just like Dixie Alley. However, we don't have the significant hatched region right here. But it's definitely a big, widespread 30% region right there for most of North Carolina, southern Virginia, all of South Carolina, and then most of Georgia. So definitely a high chance for hail, but just a little bit lower than Dixie Alley. Finally, we have the wind outlook. 45% chances are highest right here. We do not have a significant hatched region, though, so it could lower the percent by a bit and not be too, like it says, significant. But still, definitely the 45% chance put in place there. Winds up to 75, even above 75 miles per hour. Usually we see it about 60 miles per hour, but with this risk, probably 75 or even higher than that. Here we'll start looking at the Futurecast. This is actually a bit out of date. The storms are probably about mid-Louisiana maybe by now. But here is the squall line. You can see here stretching from central Arkansas down to southern Texas. And we'll move through a bit more, and we'll zoom in on the southeast. Here we have the squall line over here. Some embedded supercells you can see here. It's a very disorganized squall line, and I also want to point out this region right here. This region is also, don't let the green fool you. The green doesn't mean there can't be supercells. It doesn't mean that there won't be heavy rainfall. It's just an estimate. So this region is one of the most concerning regions for supercells, especially for Alabama and eastern Mississippi. And then we have the squall line that will also come through on the back end to bring some more embedded supercells that could also produce some strong EF2 plus tornadoes. Here the squall line starts to move on and merges just a bit, as you can see here, with the supercells that are over here. We have some supercells for central Alabama near starting to approach Birmingham, some towards the south, and then we have the squall line that could have some embedded as well, heading into western Mississippi. We move on more. It's still about the same, except the supercells have now moved a bit more north, passing through Birmingham, and the squall line looks to be stronger by now. We'll go ahead and move through this quickly. It disorganizes towards the south right here, so I think for Louisiana by time Thursday at 03 Zulu, you should be, or sorry, Wednesday at 12 Zulu, you should be about good in terms of your big supercell chance or whatever, because you guys do have a severe chance down there. Here we have the more organized squall line towards the north, just passing over the Alabama-Mississippi border. It looks like the strongest of storms will be more towards northern Alabama and southern Mississippi, but definitely still some embedded supercells in these regions right here. We'll go ahead and move through a bit faster. The squall line, this region right here starts to get more concerning with embedded and large rotating supercells going into Alabama. And this region is actually basically where the 45% region is. So this is probably the most concerning part. So this is probably the most concerning part of this of the 45% region. The squall line starts to develop off the coast in the Gulf of Mexico more, and then stretches southward into southern Alabama like so. We move on more, it becomes a more organized squall line with more embedded supercells possible. And then we go through into Georgia and bits of South Carolina, and it starts to stretch up into North Carolina. A very organized squall line right here compared to over here when there were supercells all over the place. Let me just go ahead and erase that. And then the supercell starts to move into South Carolina and central Georgia, bringing some embedded supercells, and it looks to start break up, but don't let that fool you. It still could have the power from before, and once again it breaks up even more, but once again don't let it fool you. This could still bring some supercells and tornadic thunderstorms. Now we're looking at the mid-Atlantic, mainly for North Carolina, where some of the moderate region is also located. Here we have the squall line, more organized than the south here for heading into the Piedmont region of North Carolina. And it starts to head more eastward. It dips down south just a bit, a bit below or to the half point of Wake County right there. We still have some organized areas right here that could bring some supercells. And then we have this region down here. And then finally they start to break up as they start to reach the coastal counties, but don't let that fool you. They still could be strong tornadic thunderstorms. Here we are looking at our Cape, one of the most important tools to look at when we're talking about severe weather. Cape is convective energy that the storms eat up to become stronger and more severe. So we have a lot of available Cape here for Mississippi and even down into Louisiana right here for the storms to, I guess you could say, eat up and use as power to rotate and etc. Some yellow Cape down here as well. When you're looking at Cape, you'd be most concerned about yellow and up, which is about 2,000 Cape and up. Anything from 1,000 to 2,000 still has a chance, but not something you should be very worried about. And then 0 to 1,000 is probably not something you should worry about, but still I'll be on the lookout just in case, because it still has a chance. Here it moves on, it starts to go away because all the storms are eating that energy up. Then, so yeah, we have it here for Mississippi, Alabama, and then some Cape starting to form there for Georgia for when the storms come over for this region. That starts to move into South Carolina, so we'll disregard that for now. Here we have the weakening a bit because the storms are now eating it up. Now we have it for southeastern Mississippi and southwestern Alabama, really giving that 45% tornado region right there some strength to get even stronger than they already are to form some tornadoes. Here it moves through, becomes a little bit smaller, and moves on with the squall line for it to just eat up all that Cape. By now, it's probably about in the eastern half of Alabama, crossing the border into Georgia. We move on a bit more. It becomes a bit more organized. Not so much Cape. It's not a widespread area, but the Cape totals are starting to increase. And then here is when it gets into the moderate region for tomorrow. Once again, it's not up in the yellow, but it's definitely in the 1,500 to 2,000 region, as you can see down here. So still keep a lookout for that. That still gives enough energy for storms to rotate, etc. And then here we have the, Here we have the storms, Cape right there, and then it moves off into the Atlantic there. Now we're looking at more northern areas. Here's the Cape once again, there for North Carolina as well. And as it moves on, it starts to group up here in some higher Cape totals for central North Carolina, heading towards the coast here, and it starts to break up just a bit in this region right here. And here is our bulk shear. Not that much, but definitely some that you should worry about, especially in those slight red regions if you can make it out. And then those darker purple regions is really what you want to worry about. And then here's the Cape for around now, or sorry, not Cape, bulk shear for around now. Red totals right there. That's definitely when you want to be concerned. Along the squall line right there, you can just like barely make it out about here. And then that moves towards the east just the same way. So definitely some high bulk shear there. Now, that's it for this video. I know this video was a bit long, but I really wanted to inform you guys. I might get a video up tomorrow to talk more about the region for the eastern United States that's getting the severe weather after today. And I might even do a live stream later tracking the storm, so we'll have to see about that. Now with that, I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.